Good morning. On this bowl of Question Crunch, it's the 50th, and I decided to talk to some clowns about clown stuff. So here we go. All right, so I've got clowns and I got my clown makeup. This is every year. We've also talked about on a previous episode that I do clown charity, where I raise money to do a lot of clown shenanigans. And this is one of them. Originally, the plan was to have a pizza party with a bunch of clowns and talk to them about clowns, but then the pandemic decided to, you know, stop every event. And every now and then I'm like, oh well, I'll still do that, but with the pandemic and the new variants every few weeks, who knows when that's going to happen. So here it is. We're doing a virtual roundtable with some clowns. Whiskey Dick and Rex the Impossible, unless you guys want to use other names, which you will let me know in the introductions. So take it away, Whiskey Dick.
I'm Whiskey Dick. I'm the alcoholic asshole of a clown. Howdy.
And Rex the Impossible.
Hey, howdy, hi. I'm Rex the Impossible. I guess in the burlesque industry, I'm known as the gentleman clown. So pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. Sorry, it's on my phone.
You said in the burlesque world, do you do a lot of burlesque shows?
I do. I started off doing stand-up for about 5 years, my senior year in high school. I rolled with the wrong crew, got discouraged, went to a burlesque show. They found out that I did stand-up, and I emceed for a good couple of long years, about a little over 10 years. And yeah, I MC, I perform, and I strip not often. Yeah, I don't take off my clothes as often as I would probably not like.
I like it that you had to add the not often.
Right.
Like, it depends on, I feel like that's a relative term, because who says straight, who's to say what often really is?
Correct. I don't know if I'd like to think I started it, but the hashtag clownlesque, but because I'm in my own head, I start everything. Why not? You gotta make yourself big or go home, right?
As someone who's afraid of clowns, I don't think I'm gonna go see that hashtag for free.
No,
I'm not gonna do that unless I get some donations for the clown charity.
Oh man, well hell, you should have been in San Francisco. After a little over a year of not being able to perform, I was asked by a friend of mine, a producer over in San Francisco, if I'd be interested in doing one of the burlesque shows that are coming back live on stage, and I said yeah, sure. It was nice, because not a lot of people expected a clown to come on stage and take off their clothes. And I'll tell you what, I don't necessarily like taking off my clothes, but that's the most naked I've ever been on stage. And your phobia of clowns, I don't think would have hindered you from coming, because it was just me and my nose, no makeup or anything, unless awkwardly large clowns is another phobia. Then yeah.
I went to a burlesque show, and I was sitting where I was sitting, I could see off to the side of the curtain, and I could see someone standing off just at the edge, so that he can see who's performing and still be relatively hidden. and I saw the silhouette of a clown. He wasn't really well lit, but I could see his face of a clown, and I was like, "What is that?" No one told me that there was going to be a clown at the show.
Do you remember by chance which show it was?
It was a burlesque show in, I think, Long Beach, and I think Whiskey Dick, you mentioned the clown. You referred to a clown to me to contact, and I never did. I lost track of time. I think it's that clown. What was the clown's name?
Oh, that's Bazoo the clown.
Bazoo the clown?
I love Bazoo. Yeah, Bazoo's my homie. I miss him dearly. I wish he'd come back to LA.
I think it was him.
Yeah.
Because I looked at mutuals, and one of the mutuals was the show that I saw the clown. So I was like, that's those are some coincidences lighting up.
Yeah, no, Bazoo's awesome. He's a cool cat.
And okay, so I was going to mention the first.
Wait, that's awesome. No, I was just telling Whiskey it's rad of him for repping Bazoo's merch.
The first question is going to be, why do you like clowns? But I'm really curious. We mentioned how Rex got into clowning, which I might see one of your shows depending on location and charity work.
Funny thing is, I was not a fan of clowns growing up. I hated clowns. So I still don't really, I'm skeptical about certain clowns. So I'm with you, certain when, even as a, I guess, professional clown, I still look at some and go, you probably might murder me. I don't know.
I always tell people that I'm afraid of clowns, but I'm not afraid of Joker. But then Joaquin Phoenix's Joker happened, and that was the scariest Joker for me. No, I'm a liar. That was the scariest Joker for me until I saw they did a live Batman show in Anaheim, and they made a Joker face out of people, like the dancers dressed up as features of the Joker face, and that was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen, where a bunch of people are all like dangling as teeth and they're moving and dancing with the song. Nope, no, thank you. But Whiskey Dick, what got you into clowns? What made this thing happen?
Well, I mean, like, who doesn't like to laugh? And if you want to laugh, you see a clown. So, like, you know, as a kid, I loved the clown, or I loved clowns. I probably shouldn't have been watching it, but I don't know if you remember the show in Living Color. I loved Homie the Clown.
Oh yeah,
he was a
awesome.
Fucking hilarious clown. As I got older, what kind of drew me into like wanting to be a clown was kind of the darker side of clowning, that, you know, the sad man behind the paint type of thing. You know, I really related to that. And that's where my passion for clowning came in. You know, it just really resonates with me. So that's where the adult Whiskey Dick made a connection with clowns.
I feel like I'm less scared when they're a sad clown that doesn't talk. Kind of Puddles, for charity, I saw Puddles' Pity Party, and for the most part, seeing him not talk, I'm like, okay, Puddles singing is beautiful, and if I didn't have to look at a clown, it would be fantastic. I like Puddles. Puddles, the songs that Puddles sing are just beautiful. But then when Puddles, like, as he's singing, and then he looks right at the camera, and I'm just like, oh, nope.
I gotta say, I think the fear for me as a child and as an adult is it's the over use of color. I don't know what it is. I think it's just visual thing. And yeah, also the hey, you know, that those type of clowns too. Too happy kind of makes me think, what's wrong with this person?
Yeah, no one's that fucking happy. You're hiding something, motherfucker.
Exactly. Exactly. No, as a clown, I'm like, I'm kind of a wise ass. I'm just me with a nose and makeup. So yeah. But yeah, the brightness, too much color. Right now, Jimmy, the pink wig is what's kind of throwing me off just a tad. So
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. And I was totally cool until you brought in the laugh, and I'm like,
Yeah.
right. I was missing something.
Right. Yeah. When I wrote you enter Krusty the Clown laugh, that's what I meant. So
you know, Krusty the Clown, I'm okay with. I don't know why, but I'm not. I don't have an issue with Krusty the Clown. However, I completely forgot that the clown from Garfield. I kind of forgot him, and then I did a charity thing where we were watching a binge of clown episodes of a bunch of shows, and that clown shows up, and I'm even blanking on his name right now. Binky the clown, and as an adult, I watched it and I was like, you know what? I think I'm afraid of this guy. I think I'm getting those like these weird nostalgic memories of being a kid and being like, I don't like this clown.
Yeah, it's the generic clown laugh, like over exaggerated clown laugh, I think is like a regular, hey, how's it going? You know, that I'm okay with that. It's the, you know, no, thank you.
I've told people that when Pennywise shows up on he's scary until he goes like full blown monster. Like when he's still clownish, I'm scared. But when it becomes like that big gaping mouth and you lose facial features and it's just teeth, I'm like, okay, good. I like monsters. Monsters don't scare me. And
same.
The charity started with me going to the Clown Motel, and there's even a video on YouTube. And the moment I go to the graveyard, I'm like, okay, good. Like when I was in the Clown Motel, I was nervous. I was anxiety through the roof. But I go to the graveyard, cool. I'm good. Tombstones, let's do this. I'm game. Graveyards don't scare me. Graveyards aren't going to laugh at me. And I would only get scared if they laughed at me in a clown laugh. Because if it's an evil laugh, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. No, I love horror and horror movies, especially like horror clowns. But I think when it comes to overusing the same prosthetics, that's just it. It doesn't. It annoys me a little more than it does scare me, because it's like you see like 20 of the same clown. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Eye roll, you know. Oh wait, I can do it because I'm on video. There we go.
But for people who are listening and can't see it, you did a magnificent eye roll.
Thank you so much. I even said eye roll. So
yep.
No, I think it's all about, I don't know. I think you're going to get into it anyway, regardless, more about the fear.
Most likely.
Right.
Have you seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yeah, I actually emceed so I believe it was Son of Monsterpalooza, and I'm going to ruin the name, and I apologize, and I know it too. Chiodo. There we go. Thank you. I was like, Chiodo. Anyway, so they did some kind of number anniversary for Killer Clowns from Outer Space over at Son of Monsterpalooza, and they asked one of the burlesque productions that I was a part of if they would be interested in doing an all clown cabaret, burlesque, what have you. And my buddy who's the producer asked me if I'd be interested in emceeing, and afterwards I believe it was the brothers or one of the brothers, he came up to the producers like, that's awesome, that was so cool. We had performers who were all either burlesque or they were burlesque and circus trained. And yeah, one of my favorite was they wore a cowl, and the cowl was made out of the long cotton, and she just spray painted it pink and she took it off like cotton candy. Awesome. It was great. Yeah, no, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a great movie.
And Whiskey Dick, I saw you do the heart shape, so I assume
Yeah.
that you hate the movie.
Oh, I love the movie. The Chiodo Brothers are sweethearts. The movie's amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. Soundtrack by the Dickies, or songs by the Dickies. I actually, while I was putting on my makeup, I threw on the Dickies album because I was like getting ready for this.
You had to get into it. I dig it.
Yeah. So, yeah, fucking amazing movie.
The reason why I bring up that movie is that when you mentioned reusing prosthetics, I often think about that movie because when I was making, I'm not going to say that we all were cool about watching Ernest Scared Stupid, because I love the movie. My friends, I love that movie. And as we were watching the movie, my friends were like, I think those are the clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And I was like, I'll take your word for it, because I'm not going to look. I'm not going to verify this shit. But they are. They totally are.
Yeah, didn't the Chiodo brothers work on that too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe they were the special effects artists, right? Whiskey, I think you know more about that than I do. So.
Oh yeah, I'm almost certain it was them.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself anymore, but I'm like 95% sure it was them.
I've only seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space once, and that was the first time I ever watched it, and it was at the Clown Motel. As we were driving up to the motel, we raised $200. I said, if you raise $100 tonight, I'll watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And then we raised $200, and my friend's like, all right, cool. So what's the other movie? I was like, no. There was a minimum. Just because they doubled it doesn't mean shit. I'm not going to watch another clown movie in the Clown Motel. This is already, no thank you.
You've exceeded your limit.
Yeah. I think it's cool that the performer that you said did a cotton candy cloak. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Were they still clownified?
There was, I want to say, a good majority of the performers had varying amounts of makeup, from minimal to extravagant, full on white face. But for the most part, yeah, they were all different types and different personalities, which was, I think, by far my favorite aspect of that whole mini production. And if asked to do it again, I would totally, in a heartbeat. As me, I didn't know what to do at the time, and so I just threw something on. Looking back at the photos, wasn't a fan of what I threw on, but yeah, no, it was a great show, and it seemed like everybody liked it. So yeah.
Now you're more of a ripened clown. Now you're ready.
Yeah, at the time, I think I was dabbling with makeup and looks, and I do a lot of different looks. I create characters for events, as we were talking about pre-show, and yeah, I just wasn't a fan. I'm my own biggest enemy. I think most artists are, when it comes to anything that we all do. But yeah, I would totally do my own makeup, my personal makeup, I guess you could say. Yeah.
being able to look back and cringe at your past work, I think is a good thing. That's what you
Yeah.
want to do, because that means that you've gotten better and you've grown.
Hmm. I look back at it and I thought, what would a horror clown look like? Knowing damn well I've seen it both, at the time it was the original rendition, and then it was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but they were more like big blobby caricatures, and there wasn't a whole lot of clown aesthetic that I can kind of look up and look at and go, here's what I could do. I did a lot of pointed edges, and as a clown, I don't think pointed edges are a good thing. We all always talk about rounded. I even, like, I'm looking at whiskeys, and you've got a lot of circular edges. Even your frown is circular, and the only thing I think is pointed is your mohawk. So
So clearly the mohawk is the evil part of the clown.
yes, yeah, no, it's I love it. I got one too. I just got out of the shower, so it's just kind of falling down. Mine is kind of, it's not, I wish it was as cool as whiskey's, I gotta say. Mine is a pompahawk, because it's usually in a pompadour, but in a mohawk. Pompahawk. Hashtag. If you don't stop me, I could keep talking forever. So
this is a podcast. I'm more than willing to hear. I like hearing about everyone's story. That's the whole goal of the podcast, is just being able to have, because like it's happened so many times where I've had scientists on here and they're like, oh, you don't want to hear me talk about that. You don't want me to hear me nerd out. I was like, no, that's the goal. That's what I want.
That's why I brought you on.
yeah. No, I will ramble though. Just as we're already into it. I don't know how long we've been into it, but I can ramble forever. So somebody's got to stop me.
Who is your favorite clown?
Whiskey, you go first. I got to think about this.
All right, I'll start. Dead clown, Emmett Kelly, because he revolutionized the sad clown,
Yes.
and that's what bonded with me. Living, Christopher fucking Wonder. This guy is a clown magician. His whole stage show is magic, but as a drunkard, it's fucking hilarious. But this dude lives the clown lifestyle. Because he has his magic show at the he's got what he calls a sad clown shop that he pops up at the Los Feliz flea market, just full of clown shit and random tchotchkes and things like that. And then one of my favorite things that he does is he actually makes penis-shaped corn dogs that he calls cock dogs. Yeah. Those are hilarious and tasty to eat. But yeah, that he's a hero of mine. He puts on a great fucking show. And there's Jim, you'd actually be able to see him because he doesn't do full clown. He
doesn't wear makeup at all.
No, just
eyeliner is about it.
Yeah, usually just a black eye or some eyeliner.
Okay.
But he's hilarious. He does magic. It looks like his show. So he's chugging beers throughout his show. And so as the show goes on, he's stumbling through magic tricks, but it's the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen. I fucking love that guy. He's a sweetheart. He's really fucking good at what he does. Even as he's stumbling through his magic tricks, you know that he spent hours perfecting those tricks so he could fuck them up on stage. It's fucking great. I love that guy.
So you said that the corn dogs are penis shaped. is it just the batter or is it the
No, it's the batter. It's the he has a specialty mold. I believe it's a cock and balls, right, Whiskey, or is it just the shaft?
The last time I had one, I believe it was just the shaft.
Okay, but it's veiny, which is funny. Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yes.
Mhm.
Are the do they sorry, this is a weird conversation. I love it. Do they draw the veins on there or are veins part of the mold?
It's part of the mold.
It's so cool. I can't wait to see it.
I mean, if
Usually
you
we
buy
do,
one, you could draw your own with like ketchup and mustard if you want. You know, add more veins.
oh, I totally will. If I ever get a chance to have one of these corn dogs, I will. There's
Yeah.
no, I'll shove people out of my way to get one of these corn dogs. It's that is interesting that you said that he doesn't wear a lot of makeup, which is perfect for me. I think the only clown that I really like, well, no, Emmett Kelly is pretty cool because I always knew about Emmett Kelly's work. I did not know about his name until recently. And then when I searched for like historic moments with Emmett Kelly, that's where I found the fire and the famous photo of Emmett Kelly with the bucket of water to douse the fire. And that's pretty rad. I don't think that I would be courageous enough to do that.
What I love about Emmett Kelly too, as the character, um, is you look at his face and the expressions on his face, and they almost make you want to cry. And then he does what he does. He'll fumble or do something that'll just make you burst out laughing, and just that kind of like mixture of emotions of wanting to cry, but then he does some buffoon type thing, or makes a fake. They're like, yeah, makes a face that just looks at you funny, and you just start busting up laughing. I love that duality in his character.
And Rex, do you have a clown?
If I had to choose living and dead, I'm gonna say Buster Keaton for dead, only because I would say Chaplin, but I feel like Buster Keaton's got more of a persona that I can get into. Just with a lot of the characters that I do are kind of, dead, like the deadpan expression and mentality of. I do like how Charlie Chaplin is a little bit of a smartass when he's the tramp, and I dig that. But all in all, as a whole, it's got to be Buster Keaton, and the fact that he did a lot of his own stunts, I think says a lot, especially now when you look at. A lot of people would consider them clowns, but I don't think I particularly would. But the Jackass guys doing their own stunts and whatnot, I think their form of slapstick is a lot like where Buster Keaton would, if he were alive today, would do, and just not horribly damage his body. But as far as a living clown, I don't know. There's a lot of great performers out there. I do a lot of performing in variety shows, and there it really depends, because I could take personalities from each one and say like, oh, I like this clown, I like this clown, and like our mutual friend Bazoo, he's an amazing clown and strong man, and Christopher Wonder is I don't think he's a clown per se. I think he's an overall performer. because he does it a little bit of everything. He does magic, he does slapstick, he even does like cringe magic, which is one of my favorite things. And that even Bazoo does. If you could do this and go, oh, then I love it. And when you when you tie something really heavy to your testicles, and no one can see it if they're listening, but I just made Whiskey laugh. Bazoo loves to hang heavy things by his testicles and swing. And but yeah, no, there's a lot of great performers out there who are clowns in their own sense, in their own way. But living, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But old school, all around clown is Buster Keaton, hands down.
Now, Whiskey, I saw you unmute. I think you were going to mention something about the heavyweight balls.
Yeah, so Bazoo, I don't know, a year or two ago, pandemic time, started doing some nude shows. And so you, like, every once in a while in his performances, you catch a glimpse of his balls. And you're like, is he really attaching it to his balls, or is he attaching it to his clothing?
Well, because he's wearing a kilt, so he's always wearing a kilt, and it's a great, censored in a way for like a lot of the other shows. But
yeah,
no, I didn't know that he started doing nude shows.
Yeah, so he's done some nude shows, and he really attaches those motherfuckers to his balls, and you see him swinging, and you're like, okay, this is real. And he's I'm gonna be frank here, he's got a nice cock. So it's a good show, it's an entertaining show, and there's a nice cock in there for you.
Lots of cool penis things going on in this show. I get to either corn dog or watch one. Do you know how heavy the weights are?
I do not, unfortunately.
That's
I
right.
want to say I want to say a safe maybe 25, but I'm pretty sure he goes a lot heavier too. But yeah, so there's a lot of heavyweight penis envy going around. So
very, very penis envious.
Yes.
I think it's interesting. What was the clown that you mentioned with the eyeliner earlier?
Oh, Christopher Wonder.
Yeah. One of my favorite clowns, and I found this via my clown charity, is Grok. And Grok is an old clown way back when. I think he even has a book that I might actually read. And his makeup is just around the mouth. And there's YouTube videos. I think are they Swiss? I forget what country he's from. But you don't have to know the language to be able to appreciate the performance that he does. And one of my favorite things is that he's got a straight guy. And the straight guy, he plays on a violin, and Grok goes a little higher on the violin. So they're both playing the violin at the same time. And I remember watching that YouTube video and being like, all right, wow. I don't want to give any clowns compliments, but that was impressive. That was amazing. And I will say that I like him if I'm talking about dead clowns. If I'm talking about living clowns, as someone who's afraid of clowns, I know too many clowns. I don't know what happened, but every now and then I add a new clown on my friends list. And even though I vow, okay, that's the last one, never again, except for this one, I guess. I
just want to add. Oh.
What was that?
Oh, I was going to say, I just want to add that I've known Jimmy for longer than he's followed me or friended me on Facebook. It kind of broke my clown heart, even though I knew he was afraid of clowns, that he wouldn't follow me or friend me on Facebook. but I kind of understood, and eventually it happened. I love you, Jimmy. Thank you for
dick,
accepting my
Jimmy.
friendship.
You're a jerk.
I am. Most of the clowns that I have no problem accepting friendship, their profile pic is not a clown. but Dick's profile photo is a clown, and that's what made it less less willing. What has been one of your top favorite one of your favorite performances? Now, Whiskey Dick, I don't think you mentioned that you don't really perform per se, but I know you do make appearances, right? You do show up in clown getup.
Correct. So I'm not necessarily a performance clown. I just kind of show up to places in clown.
You're a lurking clown.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's better or worse.
I show up to places. Invited or not, you're there.
Exactly. So I guess one of my favorite appearances was actually my first time in full makeup. So I'd gone out in, a nose and a mohawk, a colored mohawk, things like that. But my first full makeup appearance was actually at an art gallery called Hyena Gallery in Burbank. It was for a buddy of yeah. So it was for a buddy of mine, Lou Risconi. He was having a solo show. He also does some clowning under the name Lou Wayne Casey, like John Wayne Casey. Lou tends to paint some pretty grotesque things. He does really well with kind of serial killer art. I actually have quite a collection of his, but he asked me to come down in clown, and I was more than happy to accommodate. So my thing there was just kind of to show up in clown, harass the owner of the gallery, Bill Schaefer, and kind of just lighten the mood of the show. Lou kind of paints really grotesque things, but in the brightest, beautiful colors. So you'll see blood and guts and gore in his paintings, but it's so vibrant that it's beautiful, and you almost go past the gore to just loving the colors in his art. Although, I love the gore too. So
one of my, if I may just interject real quick, Hyena Gallery is an amazing place to go to in Burbank, and they sell a lot of Bill collects a lot of artwork from serial killers and whatnot, but knowing that, and also knowing that his favorite song is Friday, makes me so happy.
okay.
He gushes about it.
Yes. I actually, I don't know if you're familiar with Cameo, where you can hire celebrities to do shit, or celebrities. I actually paid Rebecca Black $20 to sing Friday to Bill. Yeah, he fucking loved it. It was the best $20 I ever spent.
If you get him to talk about it, he's like a teeny bopper.
Yes.
I honestly haven't thought about that song or Rebecca Black until now. It's been a while. Thank you both for letting me have that in my head for, I don't know, the rest of the night. Thank you.
Hey, she recently remixed it, and it's not a bad remix. She understands that she was a fucking joke.
Yeah.
But she is a true performer, and humbly remade that song.
If
there ever would be a Friday the 13th remake, I mean, it would have to be like a Richard Cheese version of Friday at the end credits. I think that would be Zack Snyder presents Friday the 13th, and then Richard Cheese playing Friday at the end credits.
That'd be really good. I was just about to say something though. Friday, blah blah. Oh, Cameo. I saw that Rudy Giuliani's on Cameo, and I was very tempted. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to give him any money, but I'm really tempted to get him to, I don't know, sing a song, or at least like straight face read a song. I think that'd be really hilarious, but I don't want to give him any money.
Like like Bill Shatner.
Yes.
Get him to sing Rocket Man.
Rocket Man would be too perfect, right?
Right?
Oh no. Now I'm more tempted than I ever was, because Rocket Man would be
Rocket Man in that thick New York accent.
Yeah. That'd be good. Rex, what's one of your favorite performances?
So it wasn't, I don't think I was portraying my true clown self at this time, but one of my favorite performances I've ever done. So when I got into the burlesque world, I just had the name Rex, and looking at everybody that had all these really cool, burlesque type of pun names, or like names that were just like Wanda Lust, or there was a really good friend of mine. He moved out of LA, but his name was Patrick the Bank Robber, it is Patrick the Bank Robber, and he always wore a 3-piece suit, and he always handed out $2 bills, or he always paid with $2 bills. How he obtained $2 bills at this time, no idea. None of us knew, but they would always pair he and I up. And we did a theme show that was a Road to theme show, like with Bob Hope Bing Crosby, and he portrayed the Bing Crosby character. I portrayed the Bob Hope character. But prior to that, I was given the moniker The Impossible, and for a long time, I was like, how do I make this a name, And so during the show, we had somebody come up and charge the stage, yelling. And at one of my favorite moments I've ever been able to write into a show. Other than that, everything else I've done is Trek. But I had somebody charge the stage, saying, "Which one of you is Rex Theodore Impossible?" And at that moment, everybody who had seen me, do shows, and then a lot of the performers as well, went, "Oh," and that just collective, "Oh, okay, it's Theodore. That's what the is short for." Okay, that's my favorite moment. And I just being able to share, I guess, share the stage with a lot of amazing performers. I can't really pick one, but I guess my name would probably just kind of putting a stamp on, like, that's what Rex the Impossible stands for, is Theodore. So, but I gotta say, Whiskey, you say you're not a performing clown, you just show up. You do balloon animals. I'm watching you do balloon animals. People who are listening can't see this, but you do balloon animals, good sir. So you are performing, or you are a performing clown. So loophole.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I could totally see you doing performances as far as, like, between acts, making balloon animals. You don't have to say anything, or you don't even have to get requests. You can just make them whatever animal you want.
One of my favorite things, and you could do it, is it's a running gag. A lot of people do it, but they make a dog or an animal, and then they pop it because they have to put it down. So I think you could, or just hand out our deflated balloons and go, "It's a worm."
It's funny. I was just I've recently got into ballooning. It's something that I've always wanted to do. So I was just being an asshole while we were talking and pumping up a phallic pink balloon.
Naughty balloons and phallic balloons are always fun too. So yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I think while people are talking, having balloons just be made in the background is a visual. It's fun.
I'm gonna tell you guys something really fucked up, and again goes back to my obsession with sad clowns. Before I became disabled, used to work in the animal field. I used to work in a shelter, and one of my jobs was to put down dogs. So that gag of putting down a balloon dog fits so well. It's something that fuels my depression. But
the
also,
fact of the visual aspect of you in full clown, you gotta give the listeners, you are in full clown face, full clown drag, pumping up a balloon animal as you're talking about putting down animals and laughing is the best thing ever.
It would be strangely poetic and what's cyclical, I think, that you're putting down balloon dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
This got dark real quick.
Yeah.
Hilariously so. Look, there's humor in sorrow. If a lot of these clowns who had now passed away has taught us, there is a great deal of humor in sorrow. And I think between all of us, we all know sad clown. I mean, Whiskey, you've got your whole makeup looks like a sad clown, but with like, rock and roll devil horn, and but yeah, no, there is humor in sorrow. Look, you're talking about putting down dogs, something that's super sad, but you're laughing your ass off as you're doing it, and you're giggling even. It's great.
I feel bad for other people that are seeing me laugh. It's something that harms me deep inside. But it's something that, that me personally, I was able to deal with. And I took that over, my peers. But yeah, part of that is that gallows humor. And that's how I cope with life, is that gallows humor. So, it's, again, I'm going to speak from a place that, not many people are familiar with. But after a dog is put down, we load them into a freezer, into a barrel, to put it frankly. And, even bumping the dog's head, you apologize. I'm sorry that I bumped your head. Like, this dog is passed. I know it's passed. It's not alive at all. But if I bump its head, I'm so sorry, dude. And I lay him down as gently as I can. Fucked up. Completely fucked up. But I love animals that much that I will apologize to their dead body.
You're a big softy at heart.
Also, side note, I've been scratched by multiple dead cats and had to fill out fucking workers' comp paperwork because I've been scratched by a dead cat. They were dead. They were stiff. They were in the freezer, but they scratched me. I had to fill out fucking paperwork because I got scratched by a dead cat. All right, I'm gonna stop with the super depressing shit now.
And then after they scratched you apologized.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry. I don't even blame you for scratching me. That's what you should have fucking done.
I feel like I I've told clowns this, that while I'm afraid of clowns, I can still recognize that life sucks. And a lot of times we need an escape from the mundane. We need an escape from the sadness. And sometimes that's even embracing the sadness and just learning to laugh about, or finding the dark humor in the sadness.
Well,
I don't
a
know,
lot
we
of
cope.
us
We go
are
on.
very sad. I mean, a lot of us are very sad. I mean, that's why we do what we do, is because just because we're sad, we love making people laugh, or even, making people jump just to feel, something. But yeah, I mean, look, you may be afraid of us, but we secretly hurt. Okay.
Good. No.
All around us are familiar faces, worn out.
There's actually a thing called the sad clown paradox. That's about clowns. It's the sad person who puts on the happy face, who performs for the people. I don't want you to be as sad as I am, so I'm going to uplift you.
Yeah.
There's also a really old joke of a clown, or of a man. He goes to the doctor and he's like, "Doctor, I'm super sad. I'm super depressed. Can you help me?" And the doctor's all, "You're in luck. Laughter is the best medicine. Please go. There's a circus in town. There's the funniest clown you've ever seen. Go to that circus and you will be cured of any of your sadness." And the man looks at the doctor and he says, "Doctor, that clown is me." And there you have it.
That joke is
I like
actually on
that.
Watchmen.
Is it?
Yeah, because Rorschach does that conversation when he's talking about the comedian. Because he says, instead of going to the circus, it's that one famous sad clown. The opera? Whatever.
Oh,
Pagliacci?
Pagliacci, yeah.
Yeah, and
Pagliacci.
the doctor says, go see this play. And then he's like, but doctor, I am that. And so while you were telling that story, I did visualize you as Rorschach a little bit.
Is that in the movie or the show? Because I think I've only seen the show and I don't remember that from the show.
That is the movie, right? That's yeah.
It is the movie.
Okay.
You
Is
can
it in
stay
the
with the
graphic
show.
novel?
You can just watch a show.
So I manage this the sad clown. He's a good friend of mine, and I manage him. His name is Cecil the Sad Clown, or wherever you are, it's Cecil, doesn't matter. He doesn't care. And every time he does an event, and I'm over here watching him, and there's people who are intoxicated. We'll just say that, and they come over to him and they ask him straight up, "Are you okay? Is everything okay?" And mind you, he doesn't have a frown. He's got a painted frown. And people come up to him constantly asking him if he's okay. And it's like, he's even said, "No, I'm fine. Are you okay?" But like, he did a show, a festival out in Arizona, and I'm sitting across from him watching these college students, these psychology college students, like all surrounding him, going, "Hey, what's going on? Are you like?" They're intoxicated, but they're very curious and very weary about him, seeing if his his health is okay, his mental health. And he's like, "No, I'm good, thank you." And then he gets up and he walks away. But like, people, if you look sad, people will generally come up to you, whether you're in a regular face or even in clown makeup. It's weird. I have no idea where this was going, but yeah, no, it's sorrow I think is something that people can get. So anyway, how are you doing?
What 90s pop song would be a perfect soundtrack for a pie fight?
I'm not very musically inclined. I don't know. I don't. Do you want to be my lover from
Yes.
Spice
See,
Girls? Maybe.
that's all I wanted. I'm not too musically inclined either. I always tell people I'm not musically hip. I'm not hip. I just want something that's delightfully not annoying. I'm not gonna say annoying, but just one of the earworms of the 90s where you're like, you know what, this could be fun.
I think maybe so. You had a bad day as you get hit in the face with a pie, and then you know, 2-finger each side, just wipe out your eyes, and then that song plays. Maybe that one, or Tell Me What You Want, what you really want. It's a very, I think pie fights are very Spice Girl orientated activities. I don't know. I don't know music.
Whiskey Dick.
Okay, so hear me out.
All right.
Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin. That song is upbeat. It's fast. It makes you want to throw pies. And just think about it. In that time, when Ricky Martin just came out, that song just hit. So many people would have gladly taken a cream pie from Ricky Martin, if you know what I mean.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Or how about same song, but the guy from American Idol who butchered it, and he went on to have his own record release. I can't remember his name.
Oh, William Hung.
Yes.
He did She Bangs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, She Bangs.
That would have actually been a really good one, too.
When I was getting my makeup done for the show, I was thinking about what would be my answer to this question, and I think I'm going to go with Tub Thumping from Chumbawamba.
That's a good one. I like that one. I actually like that song. I really do.
It's a fun song. It
is. It's an earwig or whatever it's called.
I'll write all these songs down in case I ever for charity throw a clown pie fight.
Or you just walking down the street and there's a it's a freaking there's a drive-by pieing, and you're like, oh, this is a good theme song. Just people randomly throwing pies outside of a car.
I mean, if you have a plethora of fruit pies, maybe peaches by the United States, the presidents of the United States of America, got millions of peaches, peach pies for free, motherfucker.
Have you ever watched the cartoon Gargoyles?
Yes.
Back in the day, yeah, that was my jam.
There was a scene that I'll always remember whenever I think about pie fights. It's a scene where this like background character kept getting his life ruined by gargoyle events. Like they destroyed his motorcycle, they destroyed his job. He just kept on getting tormented by gargoyles, and the gargoyles weren't even like, they didn't do it on purpose. It just was an accident. And then finally he corners Goliath, and he's like, "This is my time to shine. I'm finally going to get my revenge." And he pulls out a bazooka and he shoots Goliath with a pie. The pie hits him, and like Hudson licks it. He's like, I think he said banana, and the guy walks away humming to the gargoyle theme song.
And therein lies what we've been taught, just the sorrow in comedy and sorrow, and then you don't expect it. He was secretly a clown. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe that.
Jimmy, clowns are following you everywhere.
That is correct.
Yeah. What about, even though it's not 90s, but I think Tiptoe Through the Tulips is a very clown orientated song.
I fucking love Tiny Tim.
I didn't know who Tiny Tim was until like I think last summer when I wanted to watch the video to that song, and I saw him and I was like, that's not what I expected.
No, not at all. And I don't even know, is that really how he spoke? Was with that high pitched, or is it like a Gilbert Gottfried thing where it's a character?
No, it's definitely a character. He has a more normal voice, and in
Right.
some of his performances, he actually does the falsetto and a a normal voice singing.
He does Just a Gigolo, and I believe in Just a Gigolo there's a point where he, from high here to it's a speaking part in the song, and it's just I was always curious, is that his real voice? But yeah.
I believe so. I have one of his records
Mhm.
in my collection, but yeah, he's fucking amazing, and he's
Yeah.
kind of an enigma, and especially since he died so young. What's fucked up again? Back
On
to the
stage, I
sad.
believe, right?
Yeah, I was like, back to sad clown shit again. That motherfucker had a heart attack on stage and died. My introduction to Tiny Tim was actually seeing him on the website celebritymorgue.com. And you got to see his dead body and read about how he died in the fucking 90s. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is really fucking sad, and I need to know more about this guy.
There's there's an English comedian who it's weird because it's on YouTube still. I don't remember his name, but he's a larger comedian. He's always wearing a fez, but in the middle of his act, he just stumbles back and he falls on the curtain and he dies, like literally death. He went out the same way, Tiny Tim on stage. I feel like that's kind of how we all want to go, right? That or on
Yeah.
the toilet.
I
So
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind that.
Either Tiny Tim or Elvis.
yeah,
One of those.
either
You want to
way,
die?
I'm having a hoagie in my hand.
Yeah.
I would prefer on stage. I would prefer on stage. Like just having a witness. Like what was it? Steve Irwin when he got killed by a stingray, and he's like, no, I want it to be shown
I
because
mean,
you
that's his
have to.
stage.
What was that?
I said, I mean, that's his stage right there. Yeah.
Just showing I don't know. If you're a performer, I think that wanting to go on stage is a good way to exit.
Or
Oh.
you're about to go on stage, they're calling your name, and you had died just as you were using the bathroom before you get on stage. That's how I want to go. Is Rex ready? And then the stage manager is going, no, stretch it. We can't find him. And sure as shit, was taking a deuce in the bathroom, holding a hoagie.
Funny thing about Tiny Tim, Jimmy, is Tiny Tim was actually in a horror movie as a clown. I always want to call it Blood Feast, but I'm pretty sure Blood Feast is a different movie. But it's in that. Just search Tiny Tim, look at his movies. He actually plays a murderous clown in a movie in like the 70s, maybe 80s. It's a really fun movie. So I think you should look it up for the next time you're forced to watch a movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list. Thank you very much for making my life that much better.
The movie actually has some of his music too, so dude was a fucking genius.
Tiptoe through the tubes.
This is a question I have for both of you. What words of wisdom would you give to aspiring clowns?
It's funny because I think we're both two different types of clowns. So I think this is an important question because you get it from different perspectives. And I That it's an amazing question. I don't know. I think it would be try not to take yourself too seriously. I mean, you're a fucking clown. Yeah, look people in the eyes, because they'll tell you whether or not they want to play. And I think if you, whether you're on stage and performing or you're showing up to an event, people will tell you straight out, you know, whether it's verbally or, you know, through their eyes, hey, look, man, don't fuck with me. That, please, thank you. So always look people in the eyes. I think that's what I have to, yeah. And then look at them intently and go, no, just look people in their eyes.
You know what? Do that laugh again. I'm going to look at your screen because I want, if you know, this is the clown episode, and I'm doing it for the charity, so I should suffer a little bit.
There we go. Okay, I had to take off my glasses. All right, you ready?
Ready.
Here we go. There you go. Did you feel your quota?
Yep.
Huh?
Well, no, not yet. If I can get whiskey to
throw
do this
peanuts
laugh
at the
or
fat
something.
clown. That's what that is.
Wow. But I did. There was a chill. I froze up. That wasn't my computer freezing. That was my.
Did I make your butthole pucker just a little bit?
Extremely.
Okay, good. Well, then I did my job.
Yeah,
So.
I'm gonna have a puckered butthole for a while. I'm just gonna be pooping out string.
Mic drop. Rex out.
Whiskey. What words of wisdom do you have?
I think what Rex said is the perfect thing, because although I'm an appearance clown who just shows up, I'm not there to perform. I'm just there to drink and be an asshole. It's fucking important to realize that some people are afraid of clowns, be it adult, be it children. I fucking hate kids, but I don't want kids to be afraid of clowns. So that's one of the reasons I decided that I was gonna, stick my foot into balloon twisting, because I don't want people to be afraid of me. I'm fine with people thinking I'm an asshole. If people are afraid of me, I'm like, hey, sorry, dude, I'm gonna go bug someone else. Like, I don't want you to be afraid of me. I find, instances. I love horror movies, so anytime I see a scary clown, I don't care. Like, I enjoy that. I've done some hot stuff as well. Like, I enjoy the scary clown. That's not my thing. I don't want people to be afraid of me. So if you give me even the slightest inkling that you're afraid of me, I'm going to leave you the fuck alone, because I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be happy. If you're not happy when I'm around, then I'm going to fuck off and go bug someone else. So yeah, I'm even though we're in different worlds, I'm kind of in the same ship as Rex. Like,
I think you're lovely.
Would you happen to have a clown laugh for me?
I don't. My
okay.
Clown laugh is kind of just a burp, and I did it while I was on mute. But so
I am.
If yours came out just going, I would have laughed my ass off. I would have fell to the floor. I would have not expected that.
I know you said that you don't want people to be afraid of you, but I'm glad that you decided to be on the podcast despite my fears. Both of you, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad that you were able to put up with my awkward questions, because I am, I'm still afraid of clowns, but I do admire and appreciate both of your work to, again, take us out of the monotony of life, and I can't stress that enough. yeah, I'm afraid of you both. And
You just did a clown laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that laugh was a little creepy.
Yeah. My butthole puckered a little bit.
Thank you so much again. And what's the social media that you want people to follow, or if you have anything to follow?
Everything is at Rex the Impossible. Facebook, Instagram, or as the kids call it, IG. And the TikToks. Yeah.
Yeah, I as far as social media, I'm relatively new as far as like promoting myself because I don't know. Like I said, I don't perform. I just kind of show up. So I recently started up an Instagram, Vaughn _ whiskey dick. I'm not super active because there's a fucking pandemic going on. But of course, as we get out of it, you will see me more often, not only on Instagram, but in person. So fucking hail Satan.
Thank you so much for being on here. And that is the clown episode. I'm looking forward to taking off the makeup. And yeah, there it is.
No, you got to roll into the drive-in like that, man.
I got to roll in the driving like this?
Heck
I
yeah.
agree.
I'm probably going to take off the wig, though, because the wig is, I don't like
Ah!
wigs.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
know.
It is fucking.
I know.
It's literally scarier without the wig.
Yeah, you got Joaquin Phoenix Joker vibes right now. Without the wig, I love it. And then you go, I'm here to see old. I don't know, whatever movie you're going to see.
I'm here to see Black Widow. I'm
Black
grown.
Widow.
Thank you so much for being here.